Welcome everyone to the Referral Wave, the Sunny Coast very own podcast based here on the Sunshine Coast. My name's Tony Cross, and by day I've got a car brokering business called Drive Connect. But today I'm joined by the delightful Danielle from Sol Insurance Brokers. Welcome along, Danny.
Morning, Tony. It's good to be here.
Fantastic. So you're a new BNI member. You haven't been in BNI very long. How long have you actually been in, and what chapter are you in?
So I'm a member of BNI Elite. We meet at Dicky Beach.
Yep.
And I have been a member since February, start of February.
Oh, cool. And excellent. Enjoying it?
Yeah, loving it. Yep.
Yeah, it's a good spot. It's a good spot down there at Diggy Beach. So tell us, let's talk about your business. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a insurance broker, obviously, by the name of my business. I like to work with the local business owners around the coast. It's great, always great when you can meet your clients in person. I do work Australia-wide as well. We work predominantly in the SME and commercial insurance space. Yeah.
Yep. And so, so in that, I mean, obviously in that space, if you're focusing on businesses, and I know you do general insurance and that as well, but let's talk about the business space a little bit. I- you often hear about mortgage brokers and people like that saying you should get your home loan reviewed, you should do this, should do that. The same applies, from my understanding and talking to you previously. You should do the same with your insurance, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Arguably more so. Um,
Yeah.
it's really important to have a good broker that takes the time to understand your business, understand what your business does, what your exposures are, where your risk points are, and ensures that we kind of close those gaps for you with insurance.
Yeah, and I've heard you say before, in your 45 seconds, that businesses expand and things change within the business, but they don't pay any attention or work that into the insurance policy, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So you shouldn't only wait until it comes up for renewal. If you've got, big changes happening but it's midterm, you need to be contacting your broker, as and when those changes happen. Before is even better, so
Yeah.
that we can make sure that the cover's in place, good to go before anything changes. If you're taking on new contracts, it's always good to talk to your broker, have them review those contracts, make sure that it isn't an exclusion in your policy. Um, just I think communicating with your broker throughout the year is really important.
Yeah, so, I mean, arguably you should be on to your insurance broker as much as you are your accountant or your quarterly team meetings with whoever you have that with. But yeah, and you're right. If you get a new job or you start a new project or something, there could be exclusions in the policy that you have that could get overlooked.
Yeah, definitely. It happens all the time.
Yeah, right. So that's great advice because it was something that I'd personally never really thought of until talking to you. I just, you just figure it's one of those set and forget type things. And, even, I guess, even right down to if people are modifying cars and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Ford, we're a family of Ford drivers, boys are Ford, but they add fridges or they add canopies and stuff to it. Like, you've got to make sure that all that stuff is on there because if the worst case scenario happens and it's not listed or accounted for, I guess you're not going to be getting any money for it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's where the importance of having a broker you have a good relationship comes in.
Yep.
Someone who you can pick up the phone and call. It doesn't matter if it's a Sunday. You give them a buzz as and when the thought arises, or you flick them a text so that you can table a meeting for later in the week. It's definitely You should definitely be looking to your broker for advice, not price. So if you're, shopping brokers every single year, you're not going to be getting that value that you actually need, that protection. They can't understand your business within a 5-minute conversation. And if they do, you shouldn't be worried.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I think is that your tagline? Advice, not price. Do you use that?
Not really, not really.
I mean, that's perfect, right? Because it is people. Insurance is one of those things where people look and go, "Oh, I need to shop around and get the best deal." Which, unfortunately, sometimes the best deals come with lots of inclusions. Like I see it in the car business a lot. people will take a lower price, but then it won't have windscreen cover in it, for argument's sake, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So the advice over the price, I love it. I want to see that across a shirt. That'd be fantastic.
We'll have to get one made for you, Tony.
Yeah, thanks very much. I'll wear it proudly. Hey, what led you to joining BNI?
So as you know from our conversations, I'm not the most extroverted person. So I knew I wasn't getting grow a business sitting at home working from my office. I needed to get out there and network, and I haven't been on the sunny coast all that long, just over 2 years. So I didn't have a huge network of contacts. And I think working alone as well can be quite lonely. So it was a combination of all of those things. Just getting out, meeting people, getting outside of my comfort zone, having to, stand up and talk for those 45 seconds. I know you've seen me shaking away, and so I was to come on today. And just meeting people and, other businesses, like-minded people, having their expertise in one room is so valuable. You might have a thought that you would ask your accountant, but, you've got Yako there, so I can just quickly say, hey, what do you think?
What about this?
You sanity check with other business owners.
Yep.
And then obviously you've got your networking, your referrals. That's all an added bonus. For me, it was, about being around those people in the room.
Yeah, surround yourselves with good people. And for the record, I did have to really, really press you to get on here. Like, it's been going on for a long time.
Not willingly.
This has been a long time coming. I was nearly driving to your office and just going to stick the camera in your face and do it. But hey, look, if I can tell you one thing, and I've seen it so many times, people join BNI and they're exactly like yourself, and they learn, they get their elevator pitch done perfectly, their 45 seconds of vowels, and they become so much better salespeople for their business just because of the experience of going along to BNI. So you're on the right path and you've made it to the podcast. So you're going to be world famous now anyway. So it doesn't matter. Hey, how do you use, we talked about it briefly a bit, but how do you use BNI to help you grow your business?
Yeah. So we definitely touched on it. Like I said, I've talked to people in the room, bounce ideas off other people, sanity check your thoughts. You've got all of those professions right at your hand. So, I've been talking with Ed about building websites and with the marketing team about what we can do in that space. And then obviously you've got your referrals that come through. So really just making sure you build those strong networks so that people are comfortable referring to you.
So for a startup business like yourself, and I know you've been going a little while, but still early days, BNI is sort of, it's good in the way that it opens you up to all those other services, isn't it? Like you mentioned it, like websites, things like that. So you're not necessarily going, just randomly trying to find someone to help you with something. The good thing about it is you've got all those people right under your nose, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no pressure in the room to use the people in the room.
No.
You can, it's amazing. And if you work well with those people, you're obviously going to try and work with them. But, if they're not quite the right fit for your business, you've still got the benefit of being able to have those conversations and then finding whoever it is that aligns.
Yep.
And they might be a member of another chapter.
Oh, yeah. And people do that. And, you've seen it in your chapter there that, there might not be that person in that chapter, but someone will always know,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I put a referral to you. We don't have an insurance broker, and we had a person in our chapter that was working for a business that decided to go out on his own.
Yeah.
And the first thing he was if you take it in the bragging and bragging complaining context, they talk about looking for referrals. He was complaining about now he had to get all of his insurance done and have to go through that process by himself because he was now a sole trader. So I sent him down to you, and problem was solved. So it works like that. One of the other things that we've talked about in the different chapters is the amount of people there are actually on the database. By going into BNI Connect, there's a search bar up the top. If you do it on your desktop, it's a lot easier, and you can type in there. It lists all the different professions in BNI and lists those people right around the country. So for someone like yourself that can ply their trade anywhere in Australia for that matter, there's some great resources there in BNI to help you grow your business. So anyway, I'm sure you'll get into that.
Yep, it's on the to-do list.
All 6,800 of them. So
Yeah.
you reckon you're busy now. So let's talk about time. So obviously you can get carried away with time in BNI, and don't get me wrong, every minute I spend on BNI, I'm working on my business. I'm not away from it. But if you're going to sit there and pour through 6,800 people in the database, well, you're going to be spending all your time doing it. But how are you working your balance at the moment, being new into BNI with your time?
Yeah, absolutely. So, someone actually asked me this at the meeting on Wednesday, and I had really stopped to think about it. And I thought it was only, a couple hours a week, and then, a couple of meetings, but I'm probably spending 5 to 6 hours a week, spread out across the week, working solely on, something related to BNI, be it the meetings, be it one-to-ones, be it referrals from other members. I would say at a minimum.
Yeah. But as long as that time you're spending is producing a result, like people fall into the trap of just making those one-to-ones a coffee date, so to speak.
Yeah.
But arguably, every person that you would talk to in a one-to-one has a friend or a business that because ultimately could be a referral. So, as long as you're making effective use of that time, that is also generating leads. And I know it doesn't all come as a flurry at once, but it's just about positioning yourself to those people you have a one-to-one with. So when something comes to their mind, they can shoot you a referral. That's the goal.
Yeah, definitely. And it's always good to learn more about their businesses and how you may be able to support them as well. So
yeah, 100%. The giver's gain mentality. I love it. So what's next for your business?
yes, so we'll get through the end of financial year chaos. That is, everyone's out buying new things and calling you needing insurance on the day.
Yeah.
Said in the meeting, if you need your insurance reviewed before end of June, send it to me yesterday, not the 29th, but
that's it. Yeah.
we'll get through that period. And then I'm going to take a holiday. And then when I come back, we're going to hire our first staff member. So
yeah, awesome.
yeah.
And will that be in a sales role or like an admin support type?
We'll be hiring a broker support initially.
Yeah, great.
Help me with the bottleneck of admin.
Yeah, because I guess it's one thing to be running around and building your business, but obviously it'd be quite admin intensive doing insurance broking. So yeah, some support there would be good. That'll allow you to do more one-to-ones, generate more business.
Absolutely.
Hey, given your journey to date in BNI, what's the one bit of advice that you would give someone that was thinking about joining?
Make sure you're committed.
Yep.
Yeah. And then give it time.
Yes. Yeah. Great advice. Commitment, and don't think it's going to land in your lap within the first 6 months.
No, I don't think that, that everyone's going to refer you business the week you join. They might, but give it time. Yeah,
but look, in some cases that does happen, like trades, things like that. And I guess
absolutely.
And I guess to a degree, I guess in your situation, you've probably got to wait for people to trigger that review when their renewals come up. Is that how it works in your world? Is that the ideal time to contact you?
Yeah, it's kind of 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
6 weeks prior to renewal. We can discuss it any time of the year and I can say, hey, come back, or hey, this is actually a massive gap in your cover. We really should plug this now. Yeah, depending on.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. In saying that, if there's you can review it to check that there's a gap. So I've probably got that wrong, that you shouldn't wait. If you want to get it reviewed to make sure it's right, you should do that pretty much straight away, not wait for the end of policy just in case there is a gap, correct?
Yeah, definitely. But if you are someone inclined to wait until renewal, 6 weeks is the perfect time frame to give me enough time to actually get to know you, get to know your business. There might be a bit of back and forwards, questions that pop up. Gives me time to talk to the underwriters and really make sure that we've done a comprehensive market review.
Yeah, good. Where's your ideal referral space at the moment? Who are you chasing?
Um, Anyone in that kind of SME mid market that has like a broker that they're not all that comfortable with, or all
Yeah,
that kind of they talk to them once a year. They don't really take the time out to have a conversation with them or ask them if there's been any changes in their business.
yeah,
Anyone kind of questioning, hey, had they actually taken the time to look at my cover, or am I just paying them a premium blindly, hoping for the best?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I get it. So yeah, just if you want, yeah, people that are in their own business of wanting more of a relationship and someone, yeah, as you say, they can liaise with, just not park it over there for 12 months at a time.
Yeah. And then anyone who's gone online and bought a policy cheaply, directly, who probably has no idea what they purchased, but it gave them the certificate of currency they needed. Um, yeah, reach out for a chat.
Yeah, anyone that's got a COC but don't know what they really got.
Yeah, yeah, which is a scary portion of the population.
Yeah, I've got the certificate. It'll be fine. Well, actually, on about the third page it says it won't be.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Hey, I always ask people this: what's the one core value of BNI that resonates with you?
Oh, putting me on the spot, Tony.
I've sent you the questions. Come on, I've sent you the questions. Come on.
One core value. Um, hard to pick just one. Um,
You seem like a giver's gain type person.
yeah, yeah. Give us gain. I think I can't remember the flowing
The
wording.
whole wording of it.
Yeah, the exact wording of it. But doing what you say you will. Being transparent, being honest. With the referrals that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like accountability, that sort of thing.
Accountability. Absolutely.
I should have prefaced that with I didn't want you to remember it word for word from the slide. I think I can see
Bring the screen.
yeah, I can see your brain. That's why I jumped in. I can see your brain going thinking I didn't want you to read it out word for word. Just pick one. Oh, that's gold. Look, it's what's that? Oh, you've got me. Look, it's been great having you on, Danny. It's been great. And I really appreciate you coming on. I know that I've been pressuring you for a long time, and as I said, it's just a chat in front of your computer, nothing more, nothing less. How can people get a hold of you and your business apart from obviously coming down to Dicky Beach and having a one-to-one?
Yep. So you can. I'm my BNI profile if you're a BNI member.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you Google Sole Insurance Brokers, assuming that it's doing its job properly, you can click the call now. You can give me a call, email office@soleinsurance.com.au.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, look, it's been a blast. We've had a few laughs. It wasn't scary. Was it scary?
Yeah, yeah, terrifying.
Oh, jeez. You're not supposed to. Won't get anyone on it.
Done it now. It's done. So
Yeah, you got it out of your way. Well, I tell you what, in 12 months' time, we're going to do another one, and we'll watch this one before we do it, and we'll have a bit of a chuckle again.
sounds good.
So no, look, always good seeing you when I'm down at BNI Elite. I encourage anyone to go down there. They're a great group of people, nearly coming up to their 1 year anniversary, so a new chapter. But yeah, really good. And reach out to Danny. Just because you got a COC doesn't mean that it's working in the right way. Thanks, Danny. It's been a blast.